All right, welcome back everybody. Again, it is really good to see you. So we're going to start a series today on how to tie some basic knots. I'm going to apologize for my voice in advance. I got a little crazy and out of control yesterday at a competition at work. So we're going to break this down into a series on binding or basic bend knots. And then we're going to look at some hitches, and then we'll follow it up with some lashes. And so in this one, we're going to look at 3 basic binding knots, and that's going to be your square knot, your sheet bend, and a Carrick bend. Now, if you want to master your field craft or develop your tactical virtue, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on future content. All right, man, let's get this thing going. All right, so the first knot we're going to tie is a basic square knot. It's a classic. And so a square knot is used to join 2 ropes of an equal diameter, and it is a binding knot. So we're going to take the rope in our right hand and we're going to make a overhand knot, just right over left. And then we're going to take that same rope that we started with and go left over right with, again, another overhand knot. And so that's it. So a square knot, it has a tendency to come loose, and I'll show you how to deal with that here in a second. But it is a really good and secure means of fastening 2 ends of a rope together. It's also really good to use for medical purposes, and I'll show you why here in just a second on that one. So again, square knot, right over left, and then left over right. You'll know it's tied right when you can loosen it up like this, and that it is absolutely symmetrical. No matter if you look at it this way or look at it this way, it appears to look the same. Now if I want to secure a square knot and make it a little bit tighter so that nothing's going to happen with it, I'm going to take my end and I'm going to make a simple half hitch by taking my working end, working it around my rope, and then back through. And then do the same thing on the other side. Take that working end, come around the rope, and then back through the hole. Now it takes away from the beauty of the knot, but it will make sure that that knot will never come loose. And so now we're going to look at the square knot for medical purposes. If I needed to use a bandage to help protect the wound or stop the bleeding, and instead of using a bandage, I'm going to use a rope just so that you can see a little bit easier what's going on. So again, you're going to go right over left, and I'm going to place this knot right on top of the wound, hold that down, and then left over right. Now I have some pressure that's going to be applied to that wound, so it's going to help stop the bleeding as we're protecting the wound. But as you saw, it did want to slip on me, so one of the things that I can do is I can go right over left and then right over left. And you can actually do this anytime you're tying a square knot. So I've made 2 twists over. Now when I tighten this down, it's not going to want to slip as easily, and then I can go left over right. And there you go. Alright, so next up is the Carrick Bend. It's also known as the sailor's breastplate. So I'm going to take the rope in my left hand and I'm going to make a simple bend like this and just pinch it with my fingers. And now with the working end on my right hand, I need to go around and then back around the working end. So there I am like that. You can just hold that. And I'm going to feed this down, work my black working end down, and then back through. Now you can see why they call it the pretzel knot. Now what happens when this comes together and it creates 2 bites, as you can see. So we'll look at this one more time. So I'm going to take my blue rope and I'm going to make a bend in it, and then I'm going to make a twist and pinch that there, making sure that the working end is behind right there. Now I can take the rope in my right hand and I can feed it over and then back under my working end from my blue rope. I take a small bend, push it through the blend in my blue rope, and then feed the working end from my black rope through that bend. Now we can see that pretzel knot starting to form, looking good. So now when we take and we tighten this up, we can see that it creates a couple bites, firmly securing two pieces of rope together. Alright, so next up is the sheep bend. And like some of the other knots that we've been looking at, this too is a knot that is used to join two pieces of rope together and is especially useful for joining ropes of different diameters. So when we go through this on the second time around, I'll show you using some paracord and then my blue rope as well. So let's get this going. Alright, so to start off with the sheep bend, I'm just going to make a bend with my blue rope here, and then I can take my black rope and I can feed it through the hole, around the trees, and then back through my rope. And there you have it. Super easy. Alright, so now we'll do this with some ropes of some different diameters. So I have my blue rope here, and I'm going to make a small bend. And I'm going to take my orange paracord, and I'm going to run it up through the hole, around the bend here, and then back through itself. And then just tighten it up. And it makes a nice bend in there, so it's not going to come undone. Now, if you're worried about security, again, just make a half hitch in both sides. That. And then bam. And that half hitch will give you a little more security that she's not going to go anywhere. Alright everybody, so there you go. 3 knots that you can use the next time you're out in the woods and doing some camping. You need to join 2 pieces of rope together, as well as a really good knot to use for medical purposes should you have to provide first aid. If you enjoyed the content of the video, make sure you like it, and if you want to stay up to date on future content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. Man, my voice is absolutely destroyed. To tell you why, we had this organizational day yesterday, which is just a get together of all 4 companies in my battalion, and we absolutely destroyed and dominated. It was fantastic. So you know, man, we totally ripped out throats and stabbed people in the face. It was a fantastic time. As a result, man, of all my cheering and yelling at everybody, man, my voice is probably gonna take a few days to get back. But again, you know, I appreciate it, and until then, we'll see you.